Have you ever noticed how no matter how much you achieve, how fit you get, or how confident you appear on the surface, something still feels off? That sense of frustration, the quiet tension that sits in your chest, the moments when rejection or loneliness hit harder than you expected. These are not signs of weakness. They are part of the human condition, and especially part of what men face in modern life. Today, we are going to unpack something every man experiences, but few fully understand. Life is suffering. And this is what men must truly grasp to navigate the hidden currents of attraction, confidence, and emotional control. Before we dive deeper, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the Male Code, because understanding these patterns is not just helpful, it's essential. Later, you'll see why this knowledge can change the way you move through relationships, career challenges, and even how you see yourself. It starts with a simple observation. Men are socialized to hide discomfort, to bottle up feelings, to present strength even when uncertainty gnaws at them. This is not about judgment, it's biology and culture intertwined. Emotional suppression has a cost. It creates blind spots in how men interpret interactions, especially in dating. When a text goes unanswered or a date ends awkwardly, the immediate reaction is often confusion or irritation. But what if you understood this as a predictable part of human behavior rather than a personal failure? This perspective shift is subtle, but it changes everything. You begin to see patterns instead of incidents, signals instead of rejections. Later, we'll explore why emotional awareness paired with patience is one of the most underrated traits a man can cultivate. Confidence, as we often hear, is key. Yet, many men misunderstand what confidence really is. It's not about loudness, dominance, or charisma that demands attention. True confidence is internal, quiet, and steady. It's the ability to remain grounded in uncertainty, to approach a social or romantic situation without needing immediate validation. This doesn't mean you're immune to disappointment. It means you can handle it without letting it shake your core. Here, IS, where the Male Code comes into play, understanding the unspoken rules of interaction allows you to anticipate reactions, regulate your own responses, and avoid common emotional traps that most men fall into without realizing. Modern dating amplifies the challenge. Texting has replaced much of the early stage communication, but it distorts perception. A delayed reply is not necessarily rejection. It's often context, distraction, or emotional pacing. Ghosting is not personal. It's a reflection of modern convenience overriding traditional social friction. Yet, these behaviors trigger primal feelings of insecurity. Men who recognize this pattern, who learn to navigate digital ambiguity without overreacting, gain a subtle but powerful advantage. Emotional control in these moments is less about suppression and more about strategic presence. Later in this discussion, you'll understand why mastering this principle can silently elevate your social standing without any overt effort. Rejection is another area where men struggle, not because it's rare, but because it's misunderstood. The instinctive response is shame or self-doubt, yet the most effective response is observation. Every social interaction provides data, cues about personality, attraction triggers, emotional availability. Rejection is feedback, not judgment. The Male Code emphasizes this learning mindset. The moments that sting the most often carry the richest insights. There's a hidden rhythm to attraction and interpersonal dynamics that only becomes visible when men shift from self-blame to analytical awareness. Attraction itself is more complex than popular culture admits. It's influenced by subtle psychological cues, consistency, emotional composure, independence, and the ability to tolerate discomfort. Men often misread effort as value, or tension as interest. The truth is, value is rarely verbalized. It's demonstrated through presence, decision-making, and emotional clarity. When a man embodies these qualities without forcing them, he naturally attracts without trying. This doesn't mean manipulation or performance. It means understanding patterns that most men ignore. And as you'll see shortly, small shifts in behavior can amplify attraction far more than superficial tactics ever could. Control over emotion is not emotional suppression, it's resilience. Men who master the Male Code recognize their triggers, know their priorities, and regulate responses instead of reacting. Emotional volatility, especially in relationships, often creates unintended friction. Calm authority, the kind that commands attention without demanding it, is rooted in self-knowledge and consistent behavior. Later in this script, we'll explore practical ways men cultivate this authority in day-to-day life without drama or pretense. Confidence intersects with self-awareness in critical ways. Men often overestimate the impact of external validation and underestimate the power of internal alignment. Confidence grows when you measure yourself against principles, not people, against progress, not approval. When life throws rejection, ambiguity, or unexpected challenges, the grounded man observes, adjusts, and moves forward. There's an invisible logic to this approach, one that the Male Code teaches without fanfare. Observing these dynamics quietly, without announcing mastery, often produces results that louder methods cannot. By now, you might be wondering how all these threads, emotional control, attraction patterns, rejection resilience, and confidence, converge. They converge in awareness. Men who see beyond immediate sensations and reactions begin to notice patterns others miss. They understand timing, pacing, and presence. They recognize the psychological weight of absence and scarcity, the subtleties of emotional energy, and the unspoken expectations in modern dating culture. Later, we'll discuss why timing your presence and absence can communicate more about value than words ever could. Life is suffering, but this understanding is liberating. It shifts the perspective from blame to curiosity. Men begin to see challenges as opportunities to refine judgment, deepen emotional intelligence, and navigate social and romantic landscapes more effectively. When rejection, loneliness, or uncertainty arise, the grounded man observes, internalizes lessons, and adapts without losing composure. The male code is not about shortcuts or manipulations. It's about understanding hidden currents and acting with clarity, patience, and subtle confidence. As we reach the conclusion, consider this. How often do you allow your experiences to teach you without judgment? How often do you pause, observe, and adjust rather than react? The men who master these principles rarely broadcast their understanding. They operate quietly, steadily, and with an understated authority that attracts naturally and commands respect. These principles apply across life, not just dating. Friendships, work, and personal development all follow similar patterns of subtle influence, resilience, and awareness. Before we end, take a moment to reflect and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed patterns in attraction that you didn't understand until later? How do you manage emotional reactions in ambiguous situations? Sharing these experiences strengthens the conversation and helps others recognize the invisible rules at play. If this video resonated, consider sharing it. Let other men explore the subtle psychology behind confidence, rejection, and emotional control. Life is suffering, yes, but understanding it through the male code transforms struggle into insight, and insight into quiet mastery.